Are you finding sometimes in the day, just like you suddenly feel really bad, or a thought comes up and it really knocks you off, or you see something and it really impacts you? Certainly been there so many times, even recently. So today I'm going to talk about feeling bad deliberately and what I mean by this. You'll find out. And if you stay until the very end, I have an extra point for you then as well. That is really going to help. Now, before I dive in, I just want to mention that if you want to connect with me more personally, then I will leave my links to my social media below, where you can check out some more content as well. Now, many times in my life, it's just like I said, it's things just caught up with me. Like I thought about a situation or a person I've fallen out with, or a lot of resentment when I was, having a neutral or good day, and it's really caught me off guard. Or I've seen something, maybe on social media a lot of the times, that's just kind of like triggered certain feelings within me, and I've been like, suddenly I've got into a like fight or flight, an angry response, a lot of anxiety, a lot of stress come up. Maybe you can relate to that. So it's certainly been there for me. Particularly, I've had one of the biggest challenges in the last year is resentment and anger towards someone and a situation, which again I know comes from my own wounds and my own challenges. And when I realise that, it kind of puts a lot of ownership on me, which is good, because it feels like I've got more control over how I feel about me rather than someone's behaviour, which I don't. But yeah, that in particular has been the situation that I've been working through. Now, what we're going to talk about is feeling bad in advance so that you can interrupt it when it actually comes up. And that's what I mean. I'm not saying about I want you to feel bad all the time. I'm talking about being prepared for when feeling bad comes up, and how you can redirect that a lot more quickly, that I found. Because I want to ask you, how does it help when you just like suddenly get knocked off guard, you feel bad, you're like, I don't know what to do, because sometimes it's too intense at the time to think logically, right? Your body takes over, you're like in this fight or flight, this angry, this stressful response. I've been there many times, right? So here's I want to give you some quick guidance, and this is like a technique I've learned from one of my mentors that's really helped me. It's also known as a stop technique, right? But I'm going to explain the principles of it. What you're going to do, number one, you're going to do this first of all when don't do this when you're in a heightened bad state, right? This is the proactive practice. So when actually you do get into a harder state, you'll be able to do this more automatically. So do this when you're in at least a neutral state, right? So think of a time when you felt really amazing. You maybe achieved something or connected with someone really well, and it made you feel things like excitement, love, gratitude, fun, happy, joy, all the empowering emotions you can think of. And what you're going to do is go through 3 or 4 memories, and then you're really going to feel into it. Not just like, oh, I felt really happy then, and then just like think of that memory. No, you're going to really feel into it. Like, so for me, like I think of times when I won Player of the Season award in football. I think of a time when I was really close to someone beautiful I was dating, and me and her had a really good connection or something. Or I think of a time where I really had a really good conversation with friends or family, and I felt really part of something. Or I got a job I was really excited about and I really wanted it. And what I do is I'll just really feel into those moments, right? So think of what it is for you. Think of like 3 or 4. And what you're going to do is put a smile on your face, really feel those things and go, yes. And then clench your fists as you do it, go, yes, really celebrate, right? And then what I want you to do is think of the most challenging pattern you're happening. Now, for me, it's been the overarching one, because usually if there's a few, there's an overarching one. So for me, it was like challenged in like sales calls, but also I was like challenged in like a breakup or something like that. And what I found the overarching negative feeling was rejection. Now, the fear of rejection is a key, and I've actually rewritten my rules for feeling this since. And I realized that I can only reject myself. No one else can reject me. And that's something I'm still trying to condition, because we obviously live in a world with other human beings. And it's not saying I'm going to be someone who just doesn't talk to other people, right? But like for me, I realized the overarching feeling was rejection. So I've allowed myself to feel into that. So I'm like, okay, right, feel like I'm really rejected, right? Now, this sounds crazy, and I'd like feel into that. And it not make me feel so good. But in the moment, you would be feeling these kind of things, right? And then what I did is allow myself to feel bad. I sit down and feel bad. Then what you're going to do, the third bit, is allow yourself to feel bad, but not for too long, no more than like 10 seconds. And then you're going to jump up if you're able to jump up or kind of move a different way. And you're going to put a smile on your face and you go, yes, and clench your fist. And what that's going to do, when you jump up, it interrupts that pattern of feeling bad. And then saying yes, it's putting those feel good feelings into the pattern, the gap that you've just interrupted from feeling bad. So therefore, what you're doing is interrupting that bad feeling with the good feelings that you created in the first step, right? And then repeat that 10 times. I would do that, like I say, every morning or like any time in the day when you're feeling at least neutral, right? So basically, in summary, you got to feel good, make you really condition and anchor in a really good feeling, a mix of good memories, really feel them. Then you're going to feel bad, and it's going to be hard by the 10th one to feel bad, believe me, it's good, right? And then what you're going to do is jump up and interrupt that pattern and do that 10 times. And then the key bit, of course, is to celebrate when you're done, because when you celebrate, you condition yourself to do more of it, okay? Extra point I want to share just before that, I want to mention again that if you want to connect with me more, then you can find me on social media, and I will leave my links in the show notes below. What I would suggest is getting this into a morning routine. So this would just be a summary, and it's only going to take you 2 minutes a day, and make yourself accountable to someone and do this for at least 10 days, ideally 2 weeks, and then the rest of your life, because it's a really good habit. But the minimum you're going to do it is for 10 days. Right? Just incorporating this 2-minute activity, 5 minutes max, but it's going to take you at least minimum like 2 minutes, right? But don't need to do it more than 5 minutes. Have you got 5 minutes to condition yourself to feel good? I think so. I don't know what your circumstance is, but I know everyone's got 5 minutes, right? So that's what I got for you today. I appreciate you for being here. You're improving other people in your life by working yourself as a man. And remember to lead with your heart, not with fear.